traditional colors are maroon and white. The school's mascot is an eagle. They have won numerous awards. This is Brandon High School's 100 years in the making. It's the 100th year at Brandon High School, and a special year for the graduating seniors of 2014. Starting as Brandon Senior High School in 1914, the school originated to what is now today's location at McLean Middle School.
What stands out the most for me from my experience at Brandon is probably the amazing set of teachers that I had, not just in the classroom, but also extracurricular activities, the administration even. It really seemed like they cared about me becoming a well-rounded student, not just an A student or great leader. It was about really forming me into everything and sending me out well prepared.
Well, I learned that it was time to grow up and move on. Life was out there waiting for me, so I had to get ready to face it.
The first day I arrived on campus, I was ratted, and ratted was like hazing. If they found out you were a brand new student, then you got lipstick all over your face the first day of school. I remember the double sessions, how difficult it was to get up and get here on the bus, get home on the bus, students everywhere. We were just so heavily crowded. I remember having lots of friends. The schoolwork wasn't too bad, but my senior year was definitely my best.
In 1972, the school moved to its current location on Victoria Street in Brandon. Today it is now known just as Brandon High School, being the first school ever to open in the small town of Brandon, Florida, and ran by Principal Carl Green.
Well, first of all, it was always my goal to be a teacher, and I was kind of distracted a little bit. I went in the military for a lot of years, and I even got an opportunity in the military to teach as well. We call it instructing. And when I retired from the military, then my goal was in sight. So I started taking classes, and I got my bachelor's degree from Chapman University, and that was in sociology. And then I continued on. I wanted to be in education, so I got a master's in education. I found out that master's in education doesn't get you where you want to go in the school district. What you need is a leadership degree or an administration. So I had to go back again to get another master's degree. So the first master's I got was from Old Dominion University out of Norfolk, Virginia. And my second master's degree was from Nova Southeastern right here in Florida, Tampa, Florida. I wanted to be a principal because I wanted to get the opportunity to touch more kids as far as success-wise, talking to them, tell them my experience, and also make school fun. Because when I went to school, it wasn't a lot of fun. It was more everyone move, go to class. But here I wanted to make it fun. And I think I've accomplished those things. And we are successful as well academically. So all those things work for me.
Before returning to Brandon around the 2009 to 2010 school years to become principal, Mr. Green was principal at Middleton, principal of curriculum at Brandon, principal of administration at Durant, and assistant principal for student affairs at Riverview. Wow.
I've learned that first of all, everybody has their own personality, which I knew. And every teacher, when I'm talking about as teachers are leaders, and they actually love the kids and do the job because they do love it. Some express it in different ways, but it still comes out to be the same thing. My experience it's just threefold. I deal with parents all the time, try to work with parents to help them, help their kids, understand the responsibility that the kids have and not pass it off to the teachers or to administration or to their parents, the responsibilities on the kids. That's what I've learned. I've learned also that people can make it very difficult to make students responsible. And in the end, no matter what, when school is over, they're going to be responsible anyway, so we need to start teaching everybody responsibility before that time. And that way the transition is not as difficult as it's been in the past for a lot of students that have graduated or moved on from Brandon High School.
The education here is great, and the school has been awarded the Blue Ribbon School status for its high achievement and grades.
It's good to be on a team. going on a swim team, I've grown up with a bunch of different people that I've seen go into swimming and go out of swimming. These guys who had been swimming their whole lives and later went on to colleges to swim. I know one of them is John Hofrichter, is swimming at University of Tampa right now because he got a swim scholarship there, and I was hoping to apply there as well. It's really nice to be able to say that you did something with those guys. They were the top of at their game there, and I was right along there with them, even though I was in a younger grade. And it's really great to hang out with the right company that I can keep focused on the grades and swimming and be able to have a social life within these people that I meet every day.
My senior year's been mainly filled with friends. I've been heavily involved in the art club as well as the Thespian Society. Just be there for fun, friends, enjoyment, putting on a show.
With the swim team, I've learned that you do what your heart convinces. That means shoot for the stars and you might become one.
Meet Miss Rachel Hartman, head of the school's Student Executive Board, or E-Board for short. They are responsible for coordinating most of the school's events, such as Homecoming, Spirit Week, and pep rallies.
E-Board stands for Executive Board, and it's the Executive Board of Student Government. So these kids they do an interview process in the spring, and they have to sign a contract, and they do a whole bunch of different things regarding student government, like they put together the homecoming, they oversee all the clubs, they make all the banners around the school, do promotions for stuff, and run the pep rallies, and we have a Relay for Life team. And so we do a whole bunch of different things at school.
Every year, the students work tirelessly to coordinate every event E-Board plans. This year, their biggest event is planning Brandon's 100th year.
My kids are going to be really doing a lot of promotions and like putting banners around the school to promote the event. We have a pep rally coming up. They're going to be putting in some extra hours outside of school. They're going to be part of a flash mob, but some kids maybe don't want to dance, so they're going to be doing some of the painting because we're going to be doing decorations all around the stadium. They're going to be doing that, and they might be volunteering their time, helping out, doing the alumni challenge, the different cornhole and tug of war, and they're going to be there volunteering, being our little minions, I guess.
Before Mrs. Hartman, Mrs. Susan Reifenberg, now retired, was the sponsor of E-Board from the 90s through 2007.
First of all, I had sponsored the junior class, and I was sponsoring the Key Club. And my room was next to the student government room, and the student government room was 353 at that time, and I was the outside room 352. And all the student government people would be walking through the room and everything, and I liked to be involved and active, and my children were going to school here. And when the position opened up, it just was a natural thing for me to just apply for, because I just thought it was great. They had asked me to do stuff. Every year when they had homecoming, they would ask me to be something, walk around. One year I was a bag lady, and one year I was a lady in waiting. One year I was a jellyfish. So that they would have somebody moving around, something coming to life at the homecoming. So it was just like a natural transition for me to come in and do something that I loved, which was do student government with the kids.
Despite her retirement, Susan Reifenberg is still involved with Brandon High.
I still do ACT testing, SAT testing. I go out to lunch once in a while with some of the other retired lady teachers, and I also sometimes proctor for the AP exams. And if they need me, I come in and I help with the FCAT 1 year, putting labels on. I'm basically just a phone call away.
In the end, all we can say is thank you to E-Board for hosting such great events.
Across the cones. Where are the cones? Here they come. To cross these cones first is the winner. If any non-participant tries to help a team, the team will be disqualified. You guys ready? You guys ready? You're gonna pulling on my tug. I'm going to say ready, set, and then I'll use the word tug. That is your go. Here we go. Ready, set, tug. The first tug of war ever at Brandon High School history. That rope looks 100 years old. I declare this side the winner, if it means anything. Sorry, suckers. You lost. Have a seat.
The Distributive Clubs of America, or DECA for short, is a club that prepares emerging leaders for fields in various sectors of the professional workplace. For example, finance, marketing, fashion, hospitality, and tourism, as well as many other fields of work. It is ran by Mr. Evan Statman.
You know, I've been a teacher now for a year and a half here at Brandon High. Prior to this, I had no knowledge of DECA and what it stood for, having come from the business community. In the year and a half that I've been here and working with my kids in DECA, I've learned through them, giving them the opportunity to grow and expand their knowledge of what it's really like in the business world. DECA is a fantastic opportunity for them because it's giving them real world experience and preparing them for a fantastic future. It gets them interested in wanting to be an entrepreneur by starting their own business, or taking a business and making it grow, or going into hotel restaurant management and understanding exactly how to handle a situation instead of somebody new coming right off the street and not even understanding. These kids have one foot in the door through DECA.
Once in DECA, students experience an event called role plays.
Role plays are basically interview type situations that put students in the position of being able to think on their feet, being able to interpret information that's given to them prior to the interview situation, which allows them to see exactly what it's like to be out in the professional community.
Now every year, DECA hosts 2 events, the Heroes and Heels and Brandon's Got Talent. Every October during all lunches, a group of male students dress like girls and walk down a runway in support of breast cancer awareness.
What this is for is that guys, your fellow peers are dressing up like girls and they're going to do a runway walk. What we need you to do is that you guys need to donate money, and this money is going to go to the American Cancer Society for our cure for breast cancer. So, let's begin.
In Brandon's Got Talent, students with many different talents go up on stage in front of a live audience to showcase them. By the way, who did win the talent show?
Everybody worked really hard for this, so everybody deserves something. We can't give up everyone. But good job, guys. Alright, are you guys ready? I don't think you're ready for this. Let's get it. Drum roll, please. The winner of 2013 Brandon's Got Talent, Brandon's Got Talent! Mr.
tradition that holds many different activities, such as veterinary assisting, horticulture, and doggy daycare. The school's ag is all taught by Miss Tiffany Parrish.
I decided to become an ag teacher because I've always had an interest in agriculture and FFA. I originally went to college to be a veterinarian and decided that was too much school, so I switched my major to agriculture education, and I've enjoyed teaching it ever since here at Brandon.
The biggest activity in the school's agriculture is the FFA. This is a club that works hand in hand with all ag classes. When you are in the club, you have the opportunity to meet with friends, attend club meetings, show animals and plants at the county fair, state fair, and strawberry festival, attend the state convention in Orlando, get community service hours, and even earn money.
Students that are in FFA have wonderful opportunities to earn money through several different things. They obviously have scholarships that they're able to get not only through FFA but also organizations like the Florida Farm Bureau that work closely with the FFA. They're also able to show animals or plants at the local fairs and festivals to earn money off of those as well. Then we also have some different contests such as poultry judging, dairy judging, and speaking contests that those students, if they do well enough, they'll get money from the state FFA and national FFA for doing well in those particular contests.
Yeah, we show the chickens and ducks at the Florida State Fair and sometimes the festival. To show them, you need to be able to handle them for showmanship, and you need to be able to it has to be judgeable. So it has to have certain qualities to meet the judge's appeal. For example, you can't have a Plymouth Barred Rock in the Asiatic class. What that means is that the Plymouth Barred Rock is in the American class, and there's different classes of birds, and to be able for it to be shown, it has to meet the qualifications in a standard of perfection. And for showmanship, you just need to be able to handle the bird, have poultry knowledge, and be able to feed and water the chicken every day. And then there's this test for poultry called the Skillet-Thon, where you go on the booths, and this year's topic for 2014 is health. So you have to know a bunch of health about the chicken, and you need to recognize the diseases and know how to give the vaccinations and know how to ban them so that you know, just in case that something happens to the poultry. Yeah, that's about it.
Here at Brandon High School, we have many animals, including rabbits, and rabbits are great for first-time showmanship because they are very easy to handle and they're very easy to take care of. All you have to do is have a clean cage, clean water, clean food, and lots of love and care. For showmanship, all you really have to do is know your pose for your certain breed and just show the judge all the parts of the rabbit and that it's healthy. So, yep.
Just outside the school, near the football stadium, the FFA has a barn to treat their animals well.
So, this is the heart and soul of our agriculture program, where we keep all of our animals. This girl, Pepper, she's a beef heifer, and she'll be shown this year at the Florida State Fair and the Strawberry Festival. These are goat Zeus. These are our beef steers. These will be sold at the Strawberry Festival. Our three girls here, Cassidy, Catherine, and Ashley, are raising them. They've grown from calf all the way up to these 1,200-pound steers they are now. And these are our two beef heifers. That's Harley and Luna. On our way out here, we have our beef chutes. They tie them up here when they give them baths, trim their hair. And there's their pasture when they let them run. We have 4 girls this year showing pigs. 3 at the State Fair and 1 at the Strawberry Festival.
So that's Dudley. I'm showing him at the Strawberry Festival. A little over 250 right now. Just like big giant puppy dogs. So. There's not much really to take care of them. Just feeding them and being out their pen, making sure that they have hay and stuff in there when it's cold outside. But that's about it. And different types of pigs, facing and markings. State Fair has a lot more stuff that goes on with it. Like you have to do and ask me at like poster and the skill-a-thon and more stuff about what you actually do with the pigs and working with them. But at the Strawberry Festival, it's you just show them and sell them at the end.
And they have a bunch of sheep out here. These are our older ones. And then over here we have the young ones. They were born about 5 months ago over the summer. Getting pretty big now. And then over here, these are the breeding sheep and the ram. The ram is kept in that far pen back there. You can see him over there in the corner. He's kept by himself because he's not a very nice boy. It's a lot of work out here. The girls, they shear their sheep. They have to give their cows baths. They work with their animals every day, feed them twice a day. Come out here before and after school. Over the summer, they're out here twice a day. They give up a lot of time and put a lot of work into these animals, but it's something they love to do, and it's a lot of fun.
The Brandon High School Band is the longest running band throughout Hillsborough County.
As a member of the band, it's like being a member of another family, because we have 100 people in our band, and each one of them is like a brother or a sister to me. I spend more time with the band than with my own family, and we're all really good friends, and it's just a big family. I mean, everyone's really friendly, and we all have the same hopes and all the same aspirations. I mean, we all want to make music, so we all have the same priorities, and we're all very much alike, and it's a wonder. It's amazing how many people can get along just through music. It takes guts. I mean, there's a lot you have to deal with. There's so much drama, especially with the color guard. You have to be friendly and you have to be social because of the other 99 people in the band. You have to be willing to adapt because a lot changes. Like, a lot of people have to switch instruments, and you have to be able to deal with people that you particularly don't get along with that well, and you have to kind of swallow your pride a little bit. You have to know how to mesh well with other people. But it's a lot of fun, and you can enjoy every minute of it.
The Brandon High Thespian Troupe is a fun program to experience. This year, their fall showcase was just another high school musical, where a group of school actors, abandoned by their drama teacher for good reason, have to fend for themselves opening night in front of a live audience. Yikes, I'd hate to be them.
The
This year's Thespian president is Senior Daniel Wall.
So when I first joined up in Thespians, it was back in my sophomore year. Nick had asked me to be part of our old tech group, Savos, which still exists, but it's in our Thespian troupe now. And it was back when Miss Nicholson had things, and it was me, Nick, and David, and Winston on occasion, so all four of us it was just us four. We were the four veterans, the only light tech we had, and all our shows were just rough. Everything we did was always, we were told last minute or same day, hey Daniel, can you do this show tonight? And it was, yeah, why not? So after about a month, we just decided I was going to be president of the Savos Club, which really wasn't anything. It was just a title so we could have it. And the guys kind of listened to me. I took care of who worked what with me and etc. Most of our stuff was orchestra and band with Mr. Langland and Miss Driscoll. And after a while, when Miss Nicholson did her musical theater and Miss Cruz took over the theater program, joined in from the consent of a couple of my friends. And I was, we were the lighting crew, so we had our stuff. And earlier in the first year of Miss Cruz's run for our first show, she asked me to be her stage manager. I gladly accepted. That was the first and only job that I've actually extremely enjoyed in the theater program. You get hands-on with everything, and I kind of became like, a brother to everyone in here. This whole troupe is a family, and a lot of our kids that left last year were seniors. So they had to leave, but they always come back and visit us. And I leave this year because I'm a senior. I leave, my legacy technically is here. Hopefully my kids will come here one day to this theater program to see what all's changed, what's all been put back together. This is the first year that we've ever had a full light rack. Every year that we've been in here, there's been, increasingly. My sophomore year, there was maybe 12 lights, and now this year, before about 2 weeks ago, we only had 6 lights, a full rack of 20 of them, and it was just bad. It was interesting, but we brought it up. This is our second year as a running full troupe now, and slowly our notoriety is going back up, and I'm glad that I'm leaving on a good note, that my love, my passion in theater is not going to die because no one has any interest in it anymore. So hopefully it all turns out well and the show goes good.
Hi guys, so this is right before the musical, just another high school musical here at our 100th year. And I would like to say to everybody out there, hi. And also that this isn't just what we do. We don't just put on makeup. We work really hard to get what we do done.
You're beautiful!
I'm beautiful! He's beautiful. So just, if you have a passion for doing what you do, why not just come out? Give it a shot. The Thespian troupe is all ran by acting teacher Miss Alicia Cruz.
Okay, don't tape that. Well, I've been performing since I was 3 years old, doing dance and different things like that. I've been singing since I was in kindergarten, and when I got into high school is when I really got into the whole theater program. And I was vice president of my thespian troupe over at Bloomingdale, and ever since then I've been doing theater. I was a performance studies major in college, and now I am trying to build up our program here at Brandon. Being in the Thespians takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and obviously a passion for theater. Kids do things like our act in the shows, our text in the shows, and theater is not just about the actors, obviously. It's about being a well-rounded theater person involving tech and acting and stage managing, creating sets, costumes, all that kind of stuff. So anyone who's interested in any of those types of things can be involved in these things. Thank you. Have a wonderful show, guys.
I would like to extend my thanks to all of those who participated in producing our show here at Brandon. A big thank you to the parents who loaned us their kids. I promise, it was worth every minute. After spending time with this cast, I can honestly say that I have never seen such determination and will out of such astounding young actors, and I'd like to thank them for putting up with my rants and yelling during rough periods of rehearsal. Though we had our speed bumps, this troupe is a family and creates brilliant works of art together. After having the job of stage manager before, it was hard to step up to a new position higher on the totem pole. It would take pages to explain my love to each and every one of these students. All are welcome in my family and have a special place at my side. I'd like to personally thank the parents who brought in food for our students with such generosity, and to Miss Cruz herself for biting the bullet and buying new lights so we can finally, after such a long time, have a fully lit stage to see all your sons and daughters' wonderful faces. I hope you enjoy the show as much as the cast and crew have done producing it for you. Many thanks. Daniel Emmett Wall.
No, seriously, we're not kidding. Yeah, so long, roll. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
All right, thank you for coming out to see our Troop 3203.
Yeah,
show.
it was a great show.
You
Ignore
dirty
this.
little. Listen here. Listen here.
That actually legit hurts.
Brandon High School has its sports, but the sport it's most notable for is the wrestling team. And boy, is wrestling the biggest program in Brandon. The school holds records upon records upon records of documents, and holds the longest winning streak ever held by a high school. Coach Bob runs the junior varsity team, while Coach Kozart runs its varsity branch.
Alright, my name is Bob Hendrickson. My position here at Brandon High School is I'm the junior varsity head wrestling coach, and I am the assistant wrestling coach to Russ Kozart. I wrestled here from 1982 to 1985. I was a state champion in 1985, and after college I came back here and have been coaching for the last 26 years from 1988 to present.
I grew up as a small boy in a real nice community in Southern California where I played all kinds of sports, and one of them was wrestling. And when I got to high school, I kind of took an interest in it, and I liked it other than the other sports, and I excelled at it a lot. And so I kind of concentrated on wrestling, and I did well in high school and got a college scholarship and did well in college. I became a teacher and a coach, and I'm here at Brandon for my 34th year as a head wrestling coach at Brandon High School.
Things to keep our wrists free and our arm free. Not allowing the guy to get chicken wings on us.
Work on what you're working on, because we're going to move off of that move and move to another one, alright? Utilize your time wisely, please. Alright? Okay, single legs.
I have a good background in the Olympic styles of wrestling, freestyle and Greco. I tried out for a couple teams. I've wrestled internationally in Europe a number of times, and I'm always connecting with college coaches and sending Brandon wrestlers after they graduate, getting them scholarships and helping them to wrestle on the collegiate level and enhance their academics and hopefully walk away with a college degree using a wrestling scholarship as a valuable aid.
Things that I've learned from my student athletes that's been beneficial to them and me. When I was 8 or 19 years old and started coaching, I was coaching the group of kids of age 14 to 18, so I was roughly just a little bit older than they were. Now, 26 years later, I'm 46 years old and I'm still coaching the same age group, that of 14 to 19 year olds. So as much as I've taught them, hopefully they've taught me some in return, and it's definitely helped me now as a father and a parent to help my son through this age group of 14 to 19, as he's 17 years old right now. So I've really enjoyed the 26 years of coaching here at Brandon. I've enjoyed the students that I've worked with. We've had some very successful teams, and hope to have some more successful seasons.
I've learned from my athletes is that they care a lot. Nobody goes into a game or a wrestling match with the intention of losing. They teach me the unbelievable resilience and desire that young kids have. No matter what their skill level is, when they go out and represent Brandon, and they put that maroon singlet on, or you know, they don't want to lose. And so I've learned that from them. And I've learned that if you give them a good environment and you give them some good tactics and skills and build a team, they get really involved and they care a lot. High school students are very resilient and they're very caring. They care about their school and they care about themselves, and they don't take athletic competition lightly. They're very serious about it, and they've taught me a lot about their desires. I always keep that in mind.
Win or lose, the Brandon Wrestling team continues to be the biggest program throughout the entire school.
Brandon Wrestling number 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Brandon Wrestling number 1.
Hey.
Oh, Arch.
divisions and so forth. It is taught by Lieutenant Colonel Walsh.
ROTC is an elective, so anybody can sign up and be involved in ROTC. However, once you are in, you must wear the uniform 1 day a week. You must participate in physical training, and you must try the different things that we teach.
Before Colonel Walsh, Lieutenant Colonel Michelle, now retired, taught at Brandon for 12 years.
Well, when I had the opportunity to change careers from being an Army officer, I wasn't quite sure what direction I wanted to go in. But in my last assignment, my commanding officer suggested that I think about ROTC because I have a number of children. I was very interested in my children and their education and their activities. He thought I worked well with children. I worked with scouting, thought it might be good. I really didn't take it very seriously for a while. I thought I would probably wind up going out into the business community because of my leadership and management experiences I'd had in the Army. I would probably wind up there. So I started about 2.5 years out from my retirement date to seek opportunities. As time progressed, I took a look at a number of different options, but I didn't find anything that really satisfied me. But I knew as the date was continuing to close in on me, I finally decided one day I would go down, fill out an application to get certified to teach in the JROTC program. As time went on, other opportunities didn't seem to satisfy me. I got more serious about it, and I got to a point where I decided to call the ROTC headquarters and find out where there were vacancies. What I wanted to do was to try and find out if there was an opportunity for me in the JROTC program for someplace in the state of Florida, because we'd had a wonderful tour in Hawaii with the family, and the kids loved the outdoor environment and the opportunities to be outside in the water and so on and so forth, that Florida looked a good place to be. So I kind of focused on Pensacola because of the Naval Air Station. I was looking for places in Florida that had military facilities and state-supported schools, particularly for the kids, schooling. So then on to Jacksonville, because there's a Navy base up there. Orlando had a Navy training center. I looked at Homestead because there was an Air Force base down at Homestead. The area of Tampa Bay because of MacDill Air Force Base, and once again, they had good state-supported schools. So as I began the search, I didn't find anything that was particularly attractive until one day they said there was an opening coming up in the Pensacola area. So I went up there and interviewed, and on the way home, I really hadn't felt comfortable in the school, and I decided, ooh, this is not for me. There was something really wrong with the environment and the setting for the school, and I was really disenchanted with it. So once again, time went on and the search went on. And then one day I called, and Regent said that there was a vacancy down in Plant City for an ROTC senior arm instructor. So I made arrangements to come down here, and when I finalized the arrangements, the Director of Army Instruction for the county indicated that he'd given the position back to the person who he had given it to before and bailed on him. So I sat back after finishing that conversation, and I said, you know, I didn't finish that conversation correctly, so I called Colonel Johnson back and I said, you know, let me send you a resume. As this situation with the other officer changed, maybe something will change in the future. So I sent it off to him, didn't hear anything, and then later on Colonel Johnson called and he said, I've got an opening in Brandon High School. I took one of the NCOs out of the school. The principal wants an officer in the program to take over. So I came down, I spent a day at this school, and I will tell you, I was absolutely astonished by the quality of the students and the performance of the students. It was the premier high school of Hillsborough County at that time. It was definitely the front runner in almost every arena, and I was just in awe. So I retired, got 30 days leave, and came down and reported and began working. That transitional period was just, it was stressful because I didn't know where I was going, what I was going to do, how I was going to continue to provide for my family. But I wound up down here, and after I got my feet on the ground, I looked back and I said, you know what? It was like unseen hands that brought me to Brandon High School to start working with these young people. And I wound up down here, I spent over 20 years as a senior Army instructor, and as I got to the end of that period, I recognized that my destiny in life was actually to be an instructor here working with the kids. The business about being a soldier for those many years just set me up and qualified me to come in and undertake this challenge and begin working with these cadets. I'm a very happy old man, very contented with my life. I have an extended family of cadets all over the world doing all other kinds of things. They've been in combat situations, they're in the upper levels of business, they're in some of the lower levels of society as far as the salary scales. But I just would have a hard time describing to you all the cases of success that have come from these young people and how they're raising their families and what their families are doing. Follow them now on Facebook. I didn't do that. I've had a full and complete life. I'm very satisfied with it, and the experiences of Brandon High School will be with me the rest of my life.
I've learned that kids need good role models. Good examples in their lives, and the instructors in ROTC fill that bill.
I would like to leave you with an impression of the services that we provided to you, to your family, to the United States of America. The sacrifices that we made, the many days that we left our families behind. My name is Carl Green. I'm a lieutenant commander, retired Navy, 24 years. And every day I walk among you, I want you to understand something. That every time I pass by you, I want you to understand that freedom is not free. Over the course of history, lives have been given so that you can have the opportunity to succeed. Lives have always been given so that you can have an opportunity to decide on what career path you want to choose. Lives have always been given so that you can stand amongst us right now without shell mortars, without bombs, without all those things inflicted upon you. I went into a classroom just a couple of weeks ago, sat with a diverse group of a young man that's from Pakistan, that he's here without his family. His family is fighting a war over there, but he's over here trying to get an education, trying to get that American dream that's in front of you, that some of you take for granted. A lot of lives have been given so that you can stand right here today and breathe the air that you breathe. You take for granted every day what's been given to you, the sacrifices that have been made for you. I'm here today to let you know, as the principal of Brandon High School, as a lieutenant commander, retired Navy, 24 years of service, and I say dedicated service, because even after that 24 years of dedicated service, I come here to you with 17 more years that I've dedicated to you. I don't see color, I don't see race, I see future. So every day that I walk among you, and all of our veterans walk among you, they too have a story, just like I can tell you a story. I can tell you about coming into the United States Navy in 1972, at the end of the Vietnam War, going over to Europe, spending my time over there, educating myself, learning leadership, learning how to work with people. The diverse group of people that you see around you right today, I had to learn that lesson. I don't take anything for granted, not one day. I've lost a lot of friends in the military over my years, and it continues even today, because sacrifices are still being made for you today, so that you have the opportunity to make a decision on your lives. Freedom is not free. That flag represents a freedom that's not free. A lot of you have parents, family members, brothers, sisters, cousins that are military, that are in the military. They're going through sacrifices that you don't understand. But I understand. These veterans understand. We understand why we did it. We did it because we want you to have the future that others don't get an opportunity to have. I want to say how proud I am to be a member, to be a citizen of this United States of America, that I dedicated, and my wife dedicated, 24 years in the military. Both of us did. That's a total of 48 years that we dedicated so that you can have the future that you have. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. Thank you.
And so, through 100 years, from 1914 to now, always remember, the best is in the nest.